first guest tonight is an Academy Award-nominated and Emmy-winning actress and director you know from her work in the shows Ugly Betty and Superstore and movies such as How to Train Your Dragon and Barbie. She stars in The Lost Bus, which opens in select theaters September 19th and begins streaming on Apple TV Plus October 3rd. Please welcome back to the show our good friend America Ferrera, everybody.
It's good to be back.
It's great to have you. We were talking backstage, and we have something in common, it turns out. You're a crier, just like I am.
I am a crier.
I am a crier. Do you cry? Do you feel? I cry a lot when I feel happy or like.
Lots of happy crying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, happy crying. Angry crying, too.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
pretty good. I feel like anger, everything shuts down. The tear ducts are out. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But-
no, I let it out.
Yeah. Oh, that's real. That's
Yeah.
a good tool
My
to have.
husband says that's why my hair is not gray and his is. It's like, because you let it all out.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going great too, so I should cry it out. I have a lot of gratitude tears. I feel like I'm very good that way.
A lot of gratitude tears.
Yeah.
But I have Oreo cookie commercial tears, you know? Like if the commercial's good, I'm crying.
Oh yeah, it doesn't take much.
I mean, the commercials around the Olympics. Can you even watch any of those commercials?
When they start, I'm always like, no.
It's true.
If there's ever like a little kid and I'm like, oh, that's gonna grow up to be an Olympian, I'm like, I don't wanna watch this.
I know. It always starts that way. And then
Yeah.
you're like, this is a bank commercial. How is this gonna make me emotional? And then, oh God.
By the way, I have an interesting thing happening with my kids, whereas like they watch movies like How to Train Your Dragon is a great example, right? Like I always cry, like those movies make me cry because there's always like some like, you know, father-daughter or like mother-son moment, you know, like those moments.
Yes.
And I'm always like, and they're like, oh, this is the worst part. And I'm like,
Yeah, 100%.
it's not just about dragons.
Yes, that 100%.
Yeah.
Definitely. And my kids just finally let me show them How to Train Your Dragon. And then and then I say like, but it's so cool, right? Because like she's a girl and she's like riding the dragon and I'm crying and they're like, what is wrong with you?
They're like, this isn't real.
No. And they also told me like, that doesn't sound like you. I'm like, but it is me. What do you mean it doesn't sound like me?
You know you've lost when you're making your kids stay to watch the credits. It's crazy. So Ugly Betty 20 years ago?
Oh my
That's
God, yeah.
nuts. You were literally a child.
I was 21 when I started.
21 years old, you get this incredible job, and it is a show that's endured, right? You must run into people all the time who are seeing it for the first time or remember the first time they've seen it.
I mean, that's the craziest part, is that it's like people who are 15, like they weren't born when we finished the show.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I just discovered Ugly Betty, and it's my mom and I watch it every night. And it's just so sweet that it still resonates. I'm sure a lot of the jokes are probably quite dated.
Yeah.
And like, we couldn't do those jokes today.
Yeah, but it's kind of good because like you did them when it was okay and people can watch it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That like, hey, time changes everything. And
Right, it's
enjoy.
True. It's true. Also, I didn't write it.
You obviously had to wear braces every episode, glasses every episode, but I've heard you say the worst thing they made you wear is you had to dress up like a hot dog.
Look at how sad I am.
By the
in
way,
that picture.
this is nothing as compared to how sad you are in the next picture. This is, I mean, that's.
I think that was scripted. I did not just sit down.
No,
and
that
look
is
through
it. That's
trash.
scripted. This isn't scripted, and it maybe is my favorite one because, like, weirdly, it's like, what does a hot dog eat? Like bananas.
I know the PA had to feed me the banana because I couldn't get my hands around the hot dog.
So how was this like a brief shoot? Were you only in the hot dog suit?
I was in that hot dog suit for what felt like forever, but it was like 5 to 8 days of just. Good morning, America. Are you ready for your hot dog suit?
Oh.
It was like the worst.
I bet it, yeah, because again, your character was miserable to be in it, and it probably was not too much of a leap as an actor to find that.
It was not a leap, yeah.
Yeah,
It
to
was
find
right
the
there.
emotional place of I hate this.
And it was like July or August in New
Yeah.
York City. And
Yeah.
It was just.
I only put my hot dog suit on in the spring. You know, it's a little cooler out. You posted this. You and your husband have been a couple for 20 years as well. So you guys met around the same time.
Yeah.
This is a reminder. I mean, look at, like, just babies. Like, people this young very rarely are dating someone who it's gonna, like, work out with.
I know. Well, they're closer in age to my children than they are to us.
I know. Isn't that shocking?
It is shocking.
That is shocking. You have 2 children.
I have 2 children.
And you did something recently to commemorate the first lost tooth, which I'll just say it is also a little shocking to me. So here's the tooth.
I don't know why there's a picture of my son's tooth on the internet.
You didn't send that to us?
No.
I apologize. And I'm gonna find who from our team dug this up.
I know. I'm very impressed with the research.
But what about this? Did we find this, or did you send us
No,
this?
I didn't send you that either.
Okay.
I think the jeweler, who is a friend, must have posted it.
The jeweler. So interesting. I've shown a lost tooth, and now we've mentioned the jeweler. Very strange thing. How could these two possibly be connected? Well, you and your husband decided to make necklaces of your son's first tooth.
That's so sweet, isn't it?
Really? They didn't make a "that's so sweet" sound. When I showed this picture, they all went, "Oh." And then I showed this one, and it was like not even a gasp. It was like a "what is going on?"
After 20 years, like, it gets weird. You gotta keep it spicy. But it was funny because I didn't think about this, but I was wearing the necklace, and my son's like, "What is that, a tooth?" And I was like, "Oh, he thinks the tooth fairy took his tooth."
Yeah.
I was like, does it look like a tooth? And he's like, "Yeah, it does." I'm like, no, it's not a tooth. It's just, you know, it's like a hoof.
You were like, "What's weirder than tooth?"
And then he's gonna know that I lied to him about the tooth fairy, then I lied to him about the necklace.
Also, he's probably like, "So the tooth fairy's taking it and like coating it in gold."
Yeah.
I just like that these two met, and he was like, the first time he met, he was like, "Would you ever wear a tooth?" He's like, "I'd wear a tooth." And he's like, "I'm not letting her get away."
Yeah, that's right.
I want to talk about your wonderful movie. Will you stay?
I will stay.
You guys, this is American Girl. Welcome back, everybody. We're here with Amira Cabrera. That was a clip from her new film, The Lost Bus. So this is a true story about a sort of devastating wildfires that hit Paradise, California, and this very dramatic escape. I mean, it seems like an incredibly taxing film to make. I mean, a hot dog suit aside, this is a whole other thing.
This was a different level.
Yeah.
Yeah, true story. Paradise, still deadliest wildfire in California history, 2018. And Paul Greengrass, who we love and who makes
fantastic director
amazing films, took this story on. And it's based on real events of a bus driver, Kevin McKay, rescuing 22 children from the fire with their teacher, Mary, and they spent 6 hours on the bus getting through the fire. And I will spoil it for everyone and say they live.
That's a good, that's the kind of spoiler we're here for. That's the kind of spoiler we're here for.
And we got to, you know, Kevin and Mary were on set. We got to talk to them. Some of the firefighters who fought the fire in Paradise were on our set fighting the fire on cameras in the movie.
That's amazing.
And and it was really moving, and it meant a lot to this community to have their experience and their resilience and their survival be portrayed.
And this is the first time you've worked with Matthew McConaughey.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, also exciting in its own right. But you both had to take bus driving lessons?
Yes. Well, Matthew had a leg up because he had, I guess, had driven like a Airstream or you know, RV, whatever, for
of course
a long time.
He has.
So he if you read his book, he like lived in one for a long time. So he was really good at driving the bus. And then I had to drive. The first day we met was bus driving practice. And then it's my turn to get behind a bus, which I've never driven ever. And Matthew makes this very interesting choice to like get out of the bus, stand in front of the bus and be like, "This way." And I was like, get out of the way. Like, I don't want to kill Matthew McConaughey on my first day. Like, I just met you. And so he's daring. He takes a lot of risks.
I also imagine he's got a real, like, I don't know, a cheerleader mentality of like, I'm going to help America learn how to drive this bus.
That's right. I mean, he was being generous. And I was like, I will kill you. Like, get out of the way.
Yeah. And you had young actors as well.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it just must be, in a way, like, inspiring to work with kids who are doing this so well at such a young age.
Yeah, they were, in real life, the kids on the bus were like 5 to 10 years old.
Yeah.
And the actors were 6 to 11. So, you know, they were young, they were working in really intense conditions. And I was really concerned about them. I was like, this is traumatizing. You know, I have to go home at the end of the day and have mezcal to be able to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, how are these kids gonna, you know, fare? And like, they would scream and yell and be amazing actors, and then they'd yell cut and they'd be like, down by the banks. And I'm like, they're fine.
Yeah, they're fine.
Like, we don't know what's like stressing you out, Miss Ferreira, but we're fine.
Well, hopefully we can all learn something from them.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for being here. It's so exciting to see you every single time. You guys, this is America Ferreira. The Lost Bus begins streaming on Apple TV Plus October 3rd. We'll be right back with T. Bonneville.